So as we begin today, remember, you guys are all still suffering from the 2 levels of exhaustion, just from sort of coming out of this spirit well, as we'll call it, or talking with the keeper here and there. Obviously, he's not, he's almost a bland sort of human or human-looking man with this sort of milky white gemstone skull. And after you guys got this ambered leaf back to him and he now has it back under control, he refers to this sort of cauldron as a spirit well or a spirit spring. He also, he's heard the term essence pond. And he's just trying to tell you guys to, in your travels, because he doesn't expect you to stay here, as this place can be a bit dangerous. It only took you a few minutes to get to that initial encounter with the warg and those red flying beasts. So he doesn't expect you to stay here, and he says there's a road north that leads out of the forest. He's not really too good for directions. He stays around here. But he's willing to answer any questions you guys might have, as he knows. It seems he's done this enough before where he understands the mind might be a little bit moving quickly than the mouth can when it comes to what's going on. Anybody that has any questions may do so. Otherwise, just let me know what you want to do.
You're never going to guess what I'm going to do.
I want to know.
I'm going to sit there quietly and wait for everybody else to ask their questions.
That's my guy. It's the #1 draft pick right there. Okay. So Soja seems to be a bit, maybe not shy, but perhaps knowing the value of conversation, and perchance might only want to speak when it suits the rest of the group. In fact, one thing I wanted to mention is I think there was a good chunk of you who maybe haven't given your name to the people around you. I did not keep track of that. I don't have a for sure answer, but I know there's definitely a few.
Actually, I don't even know if anybody did give a name.
I don't think so.
We were a bit more focused on the being resurrected thing. Yeah.
That is true. There were some brief conversations about familiarity with equipment, but beyond that, I think maybe Soja and Graham had a bit of conversation. Very, very light stuff about spell casting, as it seemed they both could do that.
Graham had a conversation.
That is true.
That
Soja
is actually
nodded.
more accurate.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a bloody polyglot. I think that's the word.
Mm.
Can I just ask just a refresher? Did he actually? Because he said he had something for us to do. Was this the only thing he asked us to do?
It's what he asked so he could explain the boon of having that item. You guys are finding yourselves in these new bodies. You still feel sort of fragile and exhausted, and if you sort of prompt him, he will go into a bit further detail about what his, I guess for lack of a better term, job is, if you're interested.
I was actually more interested in what our job is.
Well, he'll
like as you said as you said before. I mean, coming back isn't free, in quotes. So there's something that they must want from us, something we're supposed to do.
I agree with them.
Yeah, so he says right now, obviously the toll that has been taken on your bodies is very much apparent, and you can just feel it in your sort of every movement. You're just aching, and it's like
I really need a nap.
Yeah, and it's like you were like somehow turned to stone, but you were alive, and you were just so achy, and you didn't have a lot of mobility, and even now your sort of muscles are still very sore from being used for like the first time. And it seems like you maybe have went through a aging or de-aging or whether or not you remember a whole lot about your initial body, whether you used to be 6'3" and 200 pounds, and now you're 5'10" and 130 pounds or whatever. Like, there's just a seemingly vast difference in how you should be feeling. And the keeper says that he is not alone in these sort of. They don't all manifest as cauldrons, he says, but there are other spirit springs and spirit wells around the world, and that there are others that are tasked to them. Not all of them are kept by keepers, he says. And when he's sort of asked, why he's here, maybe who told him to do this, he sort of tries to find his memory again, and he says that he feels that he was called to it, and he's almost like chained by it now. He doesn't need to eat or drink anymore like he used to, however many months or years ago he started doing this. And when he needs to rest, he falls into trances. He says, much like the elven people do. And he says the spirit well is his family and his legacy now. He will bring the souls of the ether into new vessels while others in the world spill blood, and he's just sort of proud to do his part in creating life, or in some ways, I guess, sparing death. He says sometimes he hears whispers upon the winds in this forest that speak to him and either console him or condemn him. And that's about as much as he gleans to you all.
Oh, okay. Well, that's right and proper. I appreciate the bringing us back from the dead thing. With that little boon repaid, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
He sort of nods, and he says, "You don't owe me anything, for as far as I know. You are granted a new chance at life, and as you can see, the others who have been here before are not standing around, so you are free to do with that as you wish. As I said, the only road I know out of here is to the north, but I couldn't tell you how far. I don't really leave here often."
Appreciate it.
I'm personally a fan of the idea of leaving, so if you don't mind some company on the way out.
Oh, no, any of you that wish to come with me, perfectly fine.
I will join you. It doesn't seem safe to travel these roads.
Probably not. That all agree?
Yeah, you guys are, like I said, you're dead tired. If you had to guess, the canopy of this forest is pretty thick. You definitely think it's evening. You're not sure if it's in the middle of the night, if it's dusk. There's just lack of variables right now to determine that.
Any of us have a proclivity to be a natural wayfinder? Any of us?
Not really.
I love it. This is amazing.
Somebody's going to have to
Not
try.
necessarily.
So whoever would like to make an effort, as you are all going to be traveling regardless, we'll just kind of call it a survival roll for now, or a nature roll, and we'll go from there.
I'll throw a nature roll out there.
I'll also throw a nature roll out there.
That's,
It rolled with disadvantage. Oh yeah, they're both 18s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's not bad. Okay, Graham and Soja, yeah, you guys are killing the game right now. So a lot of what your not necessarily recollection tells you, but the sort of just innate knowing of certain things as you're traveling to the north, and like I said, the keeper will point you in that direction. There is a familiarity of some of maybe the foliage you come across, and a lot of that is, pointing out plants that might grow further into swamps or into more dense areas of swamps. you'll every now and then, maybe every 10, 15 minutes or go, you'll get to this patch of forest that is more foresty than swampy, maybe a little bit less fog. The rain sort of persists, and it does seem to be getting a little bit heavier throughout this night. And you do actually find a couple items that might be of interest to you. One of them, let's see. Yeah, one of them is called Bloodroot. You actually find 3 items throughout this travel until you come across this road. One of them is Bloodroot. One of them is Ash Blossom. And another is Gillyweed. And if you'd like to gather them, I can certainly tell you how to do so.
But I happen to know if any of them are good at making poisons.
Go ahead and give me just a general intelligence check.
Right to poisons. All right. Love it.
Alrighty.
Oof.
Unfortunately, the
big
mind is a
no.
little foggy, but you're not too sure. However, when Graham or Soja or whoever it might be sort of points these out, or whether it's a tag team effort, they just sort of resonate with you for some reason.
I mean, if no one else picks them, I will, I guess.
I was gonna pick them regardless. So
Okay, so Soja, what I would like you to do is go ahead and give me a nature check with advantage, which for this will just be a straight roll. So I think if you hold left alt and click, yeah, it should override the disadvantage and just make it normal. If not, I'll just take the better of the 2 results. Ah, perfect. Okay, so 9.
Come on.
Okay, so you're not exactly sure the best way to sort of pluck these ingredients without maybe hurting them, you know, whether you need to keep a root intact or if, holding them or just plucking the leaves is what you need. But you're thinking that the kit that Soja had, or the kit that Graham has, excuse me, would be beneficial in this. There are you snuck a peek as he was getting it, and you recall seeing tools that might help in this.
I will approach Graham.
We gonna have another riveting conversation, I hope.
Could I borrow that kit?
Oh, this thing. Kind of hold the herbalism kit up,
Are you holding it up or holding it out?
holding it like out of my I pull it out.
Oh, yes.
See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Here you go.
Go back over there with your herbalism kit.
All right, so specifically, there's like this, like a set of clippers in there that is, you know, it's almost like a kind of makeshift multi-tool, as it's not just clippers, but there's like a riveted edge to maybe help strip like a leaf out or something like that. And it's just kind of this multi-tool. So the first one you come across would be, let's see, I'm going to say gillyweed was the first you came across. Go ahead and make me... Oh, how do I want to do this? Go ahead and give me an intelligence roll, and if you're proficient with the herbalism kit, you can add that. If not, you might aid in some assistance from somebody else who is proficient in either an herbalism kit or I'll take nature as well.
Yoo-hoo.
Are you? Is Graham standing over my shoulder watching?
Uh-huh.
I will like the like the presentation gesture, like all yours. You're welcome to help, kind of deal.
Appreciate it. I will take a gander, see what I can discern with the herbalism kit.
Okay. So you guys can both just give me a general intelligence check at disadvantage, and we'll just take the best of either 2 results.
Okay.
So you said it at disadvantage, normal disadvantage?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Can I roll the save since it'll be the same as with proficiency?
Sure.
Oh, with proficiency. Oh shoot,
Yeah,
forgot about that.
if you're proficient in an herbalism kit.
Oh no.
Yep.
He
Okay.
is not. Sorry.
Gotcha.
That's me. Oh, I got to roll twice since it did roll as a. Ooh,
I understand.
that's rough.
Okay, so with disadvantage, well, 13 is the better of the two. So your hands are still a little bit shaky, Graham, I would say, but combined with your two sort of intellects and finding that you just have some sort of draw to this. Gillyweed is a sort of emerald green kelp that is found sort of underwater, and you do find it very, I'd say, in like a shallow pond as you're sort of heading towards where the road is supposed to be. And go ahead and give me, I'll guess, I'm going to say Soja because you had the better. Go ahead and roll 2d4 for me.
Okay. Just a flat 2d4?
Yep. Okay, so you find 4 sort of leaves of gillyweed. So I'm going to drop one onto your sheet, and then I'll add it to it. Gillyweed. Go. Then I'm going to give you 4 of those. All right. Next one, and we'll sort of speed run this. Ash Blossom. Go ahead and give me the same sort of roll to dismember it. So if you guys are again tag teaming this, same thing with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 11.
Oh, not bad. 16.
16.
Okay, yeah. That works for me. So and then I'll have Graham go and roll me 1d6.
That I can do. 5.
5. Okay, so 5 blossoms of ash blossom. And you actually specifically remember sort of as you're stowing these away, this is typically something that's found in like desert or volcanoes. So you're not sure if this land has just undergone some sort of transformation in recent years, but this seems to be an out of not an out of season flower, but sort of an out of environment flower.
Oh.
Invasive.
And last one, blood.
It could also be a result of that weird cauldron back there, sort of spewing life where it don't usually be.
That is true.
Oh, it's invasive.
And then go ahead and give me one last roll, guys, to get this blood root.
I mean, technically, we'd be invasive in that same vein, then.
19, 15. Okay, both good enough. You can each roll me 1d4 as you guys found a pretty verdant plant and you're able to split this up.
4.
1.
Okay, 4 and 1. Alrighty. So, that works for me. 4 on that. Soja, I'll give you 1.
So 4, 5, and 5.
It's beautiful.
Looks like
Okay. So those are the plants you sort of come across as you are making your way to the road. While they are sort of taking time gathering those, Zarn, Alkin, and Valus, go ahead and give me a perception check, please. And I'll go ahead and roll one for Felix as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Okay, so Alkin, your ears sort of perk up in a moment of focus as they're getting this last plant. And you almost hear soft conversation echoing out further throughout, either further down the road or maybe just off the road, and you're not too sure where, but it's definitely common. And you actually hear like creaking of wood as well.
Understood. Hold on, everyone. I'm hearing chatter coming from this direction over here. Wood creaking? I'm not sure what this is supposed to mean.
Yeah, and you see Alkin just point further down the road.
Should we try to investigate this?
Oh, I think we might
Maybe
as well.
there are others who just recently were brought back as well. Possibly.
Lead the way.
All right. I'll start to, head further north.
Okay. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna transfer you guys to this scene.
Sorry. I wanted to see how far I could go.
God, don't we all?
I will remind you, it is quite difficult without a light, as you guys can now see.
As we don't now see.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Understood.
Do we have any torches? I'll call out.
I believe I have one.
I can light it if you need. Oh, I also have one.
Yep. So, to enable your torch, those of you who want to use one, just right-click your token and use the button in the top left that looks like a flame above the elevation number of 0. Perfect.
Oh, God.
Yep. And as you see, that brings it all into color.
I'll sort of motion anyone else who lit theirs and just say...
And you see a sliver of light further down this direction.
I'll stay in the middle, keep the torch up.
Sounds fair enough. I can lead the way.
Okay, and just before we gather too much further, how do you guys want to approach? Are you approaching stealthily, nonchalantly? I'll say the mumblings are getting a bit louder and the noise is traveling throughout the night.
I would like to be kind of behind them, and I would go stealth.
Okay.
I would go stealth just to try to see if we can get any prelim information from them.
Sure, yeah. Anyone who wants to be stealthy, first let me know if you want to get sort of out of the light, and then also give me a stealth check regardless.
Yeah.
Can I,
if
like,
you-
border the light?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll bury it. All right. Well, if we're all doing it, I might as well snuff the torch. But if not, I can just walk up there, see what's going on.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think maybe snuff the light. It seems like we have a direction we can try to head.
All right. If you hear stumbling, it's probably me.
So go ahead and put that light out, and as soon as it goes out, you guys are sort of still in the darkness. Although, I'll say this sort of fog of war acts like what you've just seen, so you kind of know what's around you.
Right.
Not
All
bad.
right. Let me hit that still.
Man, we're really going Tale of Two Cities on these rolls.
Yeah, for real. 6 and
Man,
20.
I gotta go double disadvantage. All right. So, Alkin, since you were sort of at the front, I'll say you still sort of feel the road beneath your feet, going sort of southeast in this direction. And go ahead and I'm gonna put you right here, actually.
Valid.
And you'll see sort of as you get under this canopy here, you'll see some of this stuff go away. Some of the treetops and whatnot for your vision. The rest of you, I'm going to move up a little bit as well because you're all moving at the same pace. Not really trying to overtake each other. Soja, you do find a good path sort of through these couple trees here and off to the side. And you see a little bit further away, your vision's barely making it out, but there's like a small cliff face right here. Maybe more of like a stony hill. That you might have to avoid and sort of make your way back to the road. But the rest of you can feel free to move as you would like. And again, you still hear the creaking, and you sort of hear like munching of some sound on some sort of like fruit or vegetable off in the distance.
Oh, I imagine my stomach rumbles. I'm so hungry.
Yeah. In fact, sort of since you said it, go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception. Bam.
Okay. 6. Okay. It's some rotting, like, root or vegetable. You're not too sure, but it just smells divine at the moment.
All right.
Okay. Alkin, once you get right there, you hear the tightening of a bowstring, and you hear, "Halt! Who goes there?"
My name is Alkin. I mean you no harm as long as you mean the same.
don't exactly know who to trust in these woods.
We are new to the woods. Recently, yeah, just kind of found ourselves here. I don't entirely know. I don't have much memory of anything before arriving here.
Picked a hell of a time to get lost, friend.
That I can agree with. Is I can't exactly see you. I don't have a light. Would you happen to have one?
She will sort of make her way out of sort of where she was hiding, and she'll actually put herself sort of in the middle of a road, and she will approach you here. And then let me go ahead and
Do
I'll
we
just
hear this
drop a light.
conversation?
Yeah, I'll drop a light on her.
I was about to say,
Then
I've
I'll
got
make
one.
her-
Oh,
Whoop. And then oop, we'll appear right here.
Perfect. Well, stranger, as I said, my name is Ulkin. Could I have yours? Your name?
As she sees sort of Zarn come into the sort of edge of her light, she says, "Hold on. How many of there are ya?"
Oh, I didn't exactly count, but I would say 5 of us, 6 of us.
Yeah, five present and one with.
I was gonna say.
internet
like, wait a
woes.
second, do we count him?
Yeah, I'm just to make it easier on me. I'm just gonna delete Felix for now.
Valid.
But imagine that there's a cleric with you guys.
Understood. Yeah, just 5 of us.
She will say, "I'll give you my name when we get it back to my people. They're just off here by another torch. Just follow the light, travel softly. We do have a hill giant boulder with your name on it should you try to do anything funny."
oh what?
I think
Oh,
that's
what?
So she will leave her torch on the ground where she is, and then she will
Okay.
just make her way out. And yeah, she said hill giant boulder.
Oh,
All right, well, no reason to not have this lit up then.
No, might as well.
As soon as I click it correctly, it's not lighting up.
Oh, it might have counted as you using it. In
Yeah,
fact,
I think that's why I couldn't use mine either. I
Yeah.
used it last session,
Bollocks.
Same.
so.
I just threw it on the ground. I'm like, well, I don't know another way to not light it.
yeah. It sort of counts the torch as like a one use, as in like lighting
Yeah.
a torch, I suppose.
It's a consumable item. Once
Yeah.
it's lit, it doesn't light again. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if we light 5 torches, that means 10 hours.
And I'll just go ahead and guide you guys with this light, as you guys are
Preach.
very much allowed to chase it.
Oh, temporarily lost connection to the server.
Yeah, it's given me that message before, and
Huh,
she'll
no.
she'll point in this direction.
Yeah, I'm getting some.
Why can I not move?
I see the
Yeah, I'm having issues moving too. It
I
keeps
see the
bouncing me
hill.
back.
I see the hill giant boulder they were talking about. He's a mean mugger.
Yeah, man.
The canopy's fucking is messing with me.
Yeah, buddy. And she'll guide you guys over
Oh
in
my
this
god,
direction.
the movement is messing up right now. Come on, dude.
Deadass.
It is not allowing me to move
Mhm.
at all. I can
What about-
actually
what about
use
now,
my
King?
one movement leg.
That's right. Here, I'll make it easy
Uh,
for you, buddy.
Yeah, please. Free me from this canopy. Oh, not near him, not near him.
Yeah, so Graham, as you're sort of finding your way, your eyes adjusting to the light, you see a cart, and for a moment there you think, oh, I'll lean up against this, get some strength back, and your eyes sort of shift upwards, and you see this massive hill giant. He looks fucking decrepit. He looks very old. He's got one foot, his leg sort of cut off, his other leg cut off sort of above the ankle. And he's holding this giant sack of onions, and he's just munching on it. He's just,
Hi.
Yon Yon.
I imagine it is pretty yummy.
This woman looks at you again, Alkin,
Mhm.
and she says, my name is Ashlina. Ashlina Burrows. I'm from, me and my friends here are from Avon Head. And I'll go ahead and make this invisible just to make it easier for you guys.
Sweet. Sorry, I was distracted. The name was what again?
Her name is Ashlina, and she is from Avon Head.
Oh, okay. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you. How did you end up in these woods?
Well, we were traveling for a few hours here. Our cart is a bit battered and beaten, but we usually bring our friend Yon Yon here along for safety. I just want to get my people home. We were taking empty crates from our village, and you see they're now filled with gathered supplies, much like the ash blossom and whatnot that you guys have taken up. And she says, just getting mixed fruit and veg for our families, other ingredients that the forest provides. And it seems that our other horse got spooked by some sort of snake or lizard or something, and got free of its reins. Didn't really have time to chase it in all this dark. And you see there's now a lantern, like a hooded lantern affixed to the reins of this draft horse that is tied up to a tree. And she says, we figured pin the light to the horse, and maybe we have a chance to chase it down if it gets loose.
Probably good thinking. Would you happen to know the easiest way out of these woods?
We just, to be quite honest, we depend on Yon Yon here for safety. He packs one hell of a bunch, even being one-legged. I mean, we can... I do have an idea for travel, and you hear a couple of the others sort of groan. Specifically this very elderly-looking half-elven woman who's sort of walking with a cane, more for balance than for speed. And she slips between the cart and this tree, and she says, Ash, I told you it's not a good idea to go see the Silent. They freak me the hell out. And Ashlina sort of retorts and says, they're there for protection. I mean, not just for the dead who have passed, but for any who need it. They might not talk, but they won't do any harm to us. And this half-elven woman says, I don't care if they do harm. I don't want to be by them. And they just sort of bicker back and forth.
Well, I'm sorry, the Silent.
Aye, the Silent. A group of hooded figures that perform traditional rites and ceremonies for the dead who have passed. There's ruins off the road here. Ebensteel Keep. And she looks at the sort of clueless looks on your face and she says, anyways, there's ruins there protected and walled by a gate. And the Silent watch over it. They just put me off is all.
Alright. Oh, cool. Silent monks. Love that.
Oh, Yon Yon.
Don't suppose you have any of that to spare, don't you? I'll point at the onions.
Yon Yon. And he takes another onion and just chomps into it like an apple.
I'm not entirely sure he understands us.
I don't think I speak giant either.
I don't believe I do either. Does anyone else in the group?
Don't look at me.
All right.
Ashlina says, no, that's not giant. It's the only word he knows.
That would make that would make communication a bit difficult.
Strained for sure.
Hmm.
Honestly, if I remember correctly, I think somebody fed him an onion and he just had a taste for him. And now that's all he knows how to say. I mean, I guess previously he didn't say anything.
Right.
Right. Well, is your plan then to head to the Silent for travel?
I mean, I would. And she looks at the half-elven woman. She says, "Look, they've got weapons, they've got armor. Surely they can help us."
I was going to offer our services since you're very worried of the safety of, these woods, traveling through them. There's always safety in numbers.
She sort of doubles down on that, and she says, "Yeah, and look, I've got a good sort of relationship with Maya at the inn. I mean, listen, they'll get free rooms for the night, and look, we might not make it back by morning, but sometime tomorrow we will if we travel through the day. I mean, we can rest at the keep." And she says, the half elf says, "It's not a keep, it's ruins of a keep." And she says, "It's still walled." And they just again go back and forth.
I will sort of tap my companion here on the shoulder. Hey, quick word, if you don't mind.
Yeah. What seems to be the issue?
Maybe, and this is just me spitballing here, maybe the monks who honor the dead and make sure that passage is a clean one, probably may not care for us, if you're catching my drift. They might not like that we didn't do the dying thing properly.
Well, I mean, from what I've heard, we did the dying thing.
Right, I said properly.
People are brought back all the time, I think. But I can see what you mean. They might not be super fond of the means in which we came back. It might not sit well with some of their beliefs or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if anyone has any better ideas, should we simply leave them? Just split off?
Well, that I couldn't tell you, but just figured I'd mention it. In fact, I forgot that I don't really know any of your names. We can rectify that later, though.
That is true. I would rather figure out a means of travel and we can talk on the way.
Right. For now, I'll just call you the guy without a shirt.
I'll speak as Felix in this instant, and he is by far looking the most battered out of all of you. But he says, helping them out for rooms later. Even if we do get a good rest tonight, I do like the prospect of being surrounded by a wall. It's tactically sound.
I'd have to agree there.
Yeah, we do run the risk. I'm of the feeling that we might be able to. Maybe we part ways when we start to get to the Silent. At least get us in a direction at first.
That I jive with.
Okay. We can always
In
make
the
a
future, I appreciate you not volunteering my services without talking.
I'm sorry?
Talking to Alkin, who said all of us would help them without a conversation first.
Understood. Didn't mean to step on your toes, friend. It just seemed like a great opportunity.
I'm willing to leave. I just, for the future, I'd appreciate you not volunteering me without talking about it. That's all.
Totally fair.
Anybody who wants to do so, as you guys' minds are sort of roiling at the prospects here, go ahead and give me an insight check to sort of maybe glean a bit more information between the lines from these humanoids who you've stumbled across.
Quick 11.
Love it.
Am I not good? There it is.
There we go.
Oh, it's the tale of one.
Don't worry. Graham is fucking saving you guys. I'll shoot one for Felix just in case. It's not too bad. Oh. Well, fuck it. Felix is saying that's not me. Felix will sort of lend a bit more insight to the conversation and say, it sounds like they just want to make more progress down the road, not just to be stalled here all night. I think it's a matter of gaining more ground now that they have a bit more protection. And he looks at like the battered and beaten cart and the one draft horse, and he says, by my estimation, it's tough enough for that horse right now to carry the giant long stretches of time, but if it's just a short while to a walled section in a otherwise dastardly forest, I think that's what they're shooting for. Just a bit more peace of mind.
As long as the group is okay with it, I think that it could be a mutually beneficial arrangement then. How's everybody feeling?
I personally always feel safer with more eyes.
Alright.
Fair enough. We can decide what to do with these silent when we get there.
Fair enough.
Alright.
And from the last 5-10 minutes or so where you guys were traveling upon this road, you guys noticeably moved quicker than when you were deep in the swamp. There's still swampy parts, but now that you actually have a road under your feet, it's been much more enjoyable travel. Okay. They sort of offer a couple things at the moment. Some of the supplies that they have gathered, and I mean, these crates that they brought with them that are on the cart next to Yon Yon are sort of filled to the brim. And you see this sort of 15, maybe 16-year-old kid throw something together real quick and just make some mixed nuts and berries for you guys, and he sort of offers it to you to sort of snack on while you guys are traveling. And he says, it's no big deal. I mean, we got a ton of this stuff. We just don't make this trip too often. We don't really have to, as much as we get once every few weeks. And he holds out like a pouch full of onions, that would be Yon Yon's, fruit and berries, and some nuts and whatnot.
All right, I will gladly take those. Thank you.
Anyone who is missing hit points, you can roll a 1d8. Right now, I think it's going to be Zarn and Felix, actually. But for the rest of you, you've just got rations for the night, effectively. So Felix will get back 6. And 2's better than 0.
True.
Alrighty, as you guys continue on your travel, you get into this sort of area of bit of foresty, swampy mix, and you come across a gate, and I'll go ahead and show you that here. Doesn't look maybe as pretty or pristine as this, but there is still some stonework around it, and the gate is actually open, contrary to this picture. In common, it says, Ebensteel Keep, or I'd say it says Ebensteel Keep somewhere along the sort of stone plinths on either side. And like I said, it is a bit of a sort of foresty, swampy mix. But further down this sort of pathway, another 150 feet or so, you see this sort of ruined area, and you see 2 large sort of origins of light, much like the sort of lantern or whatnot that is hanging off the draft horse right now, but glowing a little bit brighter. And as you guys approach, Ashlina says, see, look, Ebensteel family never lets us down. None of them live here, of course, but come on, this has always been a beacon. And she looks sort of begrudgingly at the half-elf again, who's just sort of not wanting to give in.
You said they no longer live here.
No, none of them. This is an old keep that's been within the family for, generations as far as I know. Last time I came here, I think I was trying to gather some willow shade oil, or willow shade fruit, rather. It's always used to be abundant with that, but, over time, sort of dries up.
Understood. Any reason why they left?
I think the prospects, well, she starts to think about it, and she says, I'm actually not sure. Not really a whole lot around here. Ebenstiel family used to be, masters of their craft, in regards to, I guess some arcane prowess they had, really just sort of a good noble family, but I guess without a lot of room for expansion, so to speak. Maybe that's why. Not a whole lot of big cities around here that they could take advantage of.
Understood. Yeah. Other than what very few resources we were able to scavenge, doesn't seem to be a lot.
Not always. There are some verdant parts off this road, but admittedly, you do have to have some familiarity with the area to find them. You don't often get visitors around this park. As you guys have been traveling, every so often they'll give the horse a little bit of a break and tell Yon Yon to put his other foot on the ground or maybe ease up off the cart, and he just grumbles and Yon Yon, Yon Yon. And he seems to be having a bit of attitude, as you can tell it's just a fat, lazy giant just munching on his onions. But that being said, you guys do make your way through the gate and eventually get towards Ebenstiel Keep. I'm gonna move you over here.
Right. This isn't ominous at all.
Oh, why would it be?
Oh, great.
Hey, there's a well.
I'm more worried about the the monks.
Hmm.
They
I
look
mean, we knew they were gonna be here. We didn't know the well was.
sure. I'm just saying that they look terrifying.
That I
I
can
mean-
agree with.
How close are the other people to us right now?
Here, I'm gonna re-enable the sort of light on this horse here. There you go.
Too close. Never mind.
And
Or
Guys,
I'll
there's-
lean in and whisper to Graham, just... I mean, you've already died. How much scarier can it get?
You had me there.
and as the horse sort of moves forward, like the light will go ahead and move with it. And you see this guy who would have introduced himself as Tylus will sort of take this horse and sort of tie it up to this tree here. And leave the light on it. And it takes some doing as far as looking around sort of off in the distance, but past what you can see off of this map, there is like a wrought iron fence around like hundreds and hundreds of feet of just sort of foresty, swampy land. And the rest of the humanoids will sort of shuffle in. Yon Yon, who has been taken off of the cart, is sort of crawling his way through the muck and the water. And he'll get himself over here along with the rest of the humans. And Felix will join them.
We're keeping a hand near our weapons, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The guy sort of tying up the horse will look at you and you, Valus and Graham, as you guys are sort of nearest to him, and he says, "There's no need to worry about the silent. They sure look a bit scary, but villagers actually, maybe not from my town, but I've heard and read stories, often used to leave food or other small charities to aid them in their travels, and it's sort of traditions that the families of the dead pay passage to the silent for their services, tending graves and whatnot, performing rites."
Interesting.
And then Ashlina will say, "Well, I think I'm gonna put myself by a fireplace." And you'll look, and there's 2 campfires that have obviously been sort of tended to and kept up, and there is piles of lumber near them as well. And she just sits around one.
I'm back.
Welcome. I was just starting to move you.
Starting what?
So I was just starting to move you towards everybody.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Wonderful place you have here. I'll say as I'm walking by the silent.
Okay. The silent sort of looks up to you and just sort of nods. Let's see. How could I tell this to you? Zarn, go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
Sure.
Oh, nice. Okay. You're not really sure what is telling you this. But you think that the sort of symbol around a clasp on each one of the silent's neck is sort of telling you something. And it's a symbol which you have to sort of crane your head to look at. But it looks like a sort of scythe whose blade is sort of shaped like a raven's head.
Huh. Nifty. I would ask questions, but I hear you don't talk a lot.
You see the silent just nod at you. We'll do a little flip and nod. And you see right now he's actually outfitted with what seems to be a shovel, and he's replanting looks to be some old flowers.
Are all of them busy with like a task?
Yep. One of them is walking around with like what is it, like a censer, the thing that is like with incense and burning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one, you sort of have to sort of track him down for a moment. But looks like he's got like a pair of like secateurs, like clippers, like garden clippers, and seems to be trimming around like gravestones, or actually in this particular case, trimming around a large family portrait that is sort of etched into stone, almost like a family tree. Would you like to look at this family tree?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
I like when people do that.
You're cursed.
Yeah. This is
you're dead
the.
now.
I'll put it in the chat, but this is the sort of family tree that they're looking at.
God, world anvil.
Yo, that man is handsome.
Holy moly, he is.
Wow.
I'm assuming you're talking about Arno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you you can like left click to pan, and if you mouse over, you'll get like a full portrait image.
That's really cool.
Dang.
And it seems that, yeah, it seems that this one silent is just sort of pulling sort of weeds and whatnot around this area, and also just kind of trimming up any overgrown vines.
Question.
Sure.
So, okay, so for Elena Evansteel,
Yep.
It states her as the daughter of Roland and Yvette. Are Roland and Yvette siblings?
Might be.
I see. Understood. Just checking.
Family wreath over here.
Could be a sister wife.
Alright, that's enough reading for me today. Oh. Gonna eat more of these berries.
Hmm.
I will sit down by the fire as well for a moment.
Ashlina will, as you're the first to sort of visit at the fire, she will sort of say, so, you said you got, what, lost? Or, kind of turned around? I don't actually recall.
Yeah, I just... Yeah, I sort of found myself in these woods. I don't entirely recall the means in which I got here. I don't know. Maybe took, a hard knock on the head, what have you. Maybe large branch or something. It might come back to me at some point, but at this moment, yeah, nothing comes to mind of why, I am here. Just trying to find a way out.
We've got a man back in town who likes to get pissed and wander off into the into the woods. Told him a million times not to do it, but I suppose boys will be boys. But it's never good to walk the ancestral forest alone.
Totally, yeah. It doesn't seem like the best place to travel alone. Your town, is it too far from here?
Not exactly. I want to say it's another maybe 3-4 hours.
Wonderful. Okay, perfect. Yeah, just trying to, get some footing on, means of getting out of here. That's all. Just wondering.
Sure. Of course. And I'd say it's been about like 90 minutes since you guys were, since you had met and traveled the further distance. So right now is actually sort of the true light. Valus, you seem to be drawn by the light emanating from an old well.
Looks real similar to what we woke up by.
It does. It looks eerily similar. Only thing missing is a humanoid with a milky white skull of gemstone.
Right?
Yeah, do you sort of inspect it?
Yeah. I'm checking it out.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. And there's going to be stuff you recognize regardless of this result.
Come on. Jesus.
So when you lean in sort of real close, you hear like almost like whispers, I would say. And you see sort of disturbances in the water that seem to be like shifting and swimming, like almost like you can see trails of tadpoles without seeing the tadpole. Like you just see this like sort of weird emanation moving and swimming about, and just sort of shifting. And it's giving off this weird green-purple combination of glowing light.
I see. Weird.
Right. Does anyone else want to engage in any conversation or exploration or what have you?
Yes.
Hit me.
Are the silent breathing? Can I see their like chest moving?
Yep.
Okay.
Odd.
I'm just gonna spend some time following one of these guys around, observing them.
Let's see. How would I want to say this? It seems to be that once they are done with one of their tasks, as you would put it, they just sort of put down their tool or whatnot against, a surface and move to the next one, like a next task that they can find. Some of it might be, cleaning up a little bit of rubble and putting it off to the side, making like a pathway, either easier for them to work or just to get some of this sort of rock and stone away from the flowers that they had planted. But it just seems that they keep finding stuff to do. They were unfazed by your arrival. They sort of, once they noticed that you were here, they just sort of looked up and then they just went back to work. In fact, sort of as you're sort of watching them, and when one of the silent puts down, like, say, a shovel that they were using, this sort of teenage kid, Mithra, will come over, and with the same sort of politeness as he offered you guys the sort of food with, he will just leave a sack of, mixed food and against the tool, like against the shovel, and he'll go back to what he was doing.
You mind if I join you by the fire?
Not at all. Not at all. I can't remember if I quite caught your name earlier. Mine is
I
Alkin.
don't-
Well, you wouldn't remember with the head injury you got.
I think
Exactly.
we all got knocked around a little bit, for certain.
Well, you gotta be careful wandering in the tree branches in these woods. Right, Alkin?
That's absolutely true. I mean, do you recall anything from earlier?
Meh. Sometimes just wandering in the forest. But other than that, no. I don't remember running into a tree branch that way. That was just you, apparently.
Well, right then. Name's Graham.
Pleasure to meet you.
Finally, anyway.
Officially.
Valus. Hello.
Oh.
Phyllis. Pleasure as well.
A fine name.
I'm hearing introductions, and I guess I don't want to be rude. Zarn.
Zahn.
And what was does anyone happen to know our last comrade's name?
Which one are you counting as the last?
The only one that's technically actually
Quiet
here.
one or the other quiet one?
I've been trying to crack that nut for a minute. He doesn't really seem too keen on talking if there's nothing that needs to be done.
And that's what he wants.
Perhaps he's
That's what
about
it is.
efficiency.
I suppose.
You actually see him writing something down with some sort of instrument and showing it to the silent, one of the silent. He seems to be engaged in nonverbal potential conversation, although the silent does not seem to be really paying much attention.
Is that Felix?
No, that is the one who is actually here.
Gotcha.
I. Me.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'll close that up and walk over to the fire.
Yes. I mean, do you happen to have a name?
I'll nod my head.
You see?
Yeah, understood. I mean,
I've been trying.
if you ever feel like sharing it, feel free. No pressure. It makes getting your attention a bit easier, though.
You know, we have
Doja.
some... Oh,
Oh.
Did you get any answer from the talkless ones?
I will shake my head no.
Disappointing.
well, at least they're not out for our necks. I think that's the only thing I really care about.
It might just be like us. And I'll point towards the big well. I mean, it's right there. Which says they aren't like us.
It's like the same thing.
Eerily similar.
Huh.
Without the, creamy-headed gentleman.
I don't know if I like the way that was said, but I understand what you're saying.
I guess they're the ones watching over it now,
True.
possibly. But I don't know. Are we resting up here for now, or are we planning on continuing to move forward soon?
Honestly, and this is just my opinion here, I don't reckon we have much to fear from these guys. At least in the 10 minutes I've been here.
I would agree with that. I think it might be best if we try to make better time and travel along.
You mean in the morning, right? Because a rest would be fantastic.
That does sound nice. I guess we don't have anything rushing us out of here.
Indeed.
Oh, something important's happening over there.
Yeah, I'm wondering,
As you
what
guys-
that might be.
Yep, as you guys are amidst conversation, it seems like once the members known as the Silent are done with their work, they'll just kind of go over by the other fireplace, and looks like they're just sitting. You don't hear any conversation, nothing like that.
Surprise, surprise. No conversation.
They really do be silent.
Shit, they really do be.
You'll see your clerical friend kind of walk back and sit on the outskirts of the firelight.
Well, I guess if the plan is to rest here, then we might as well, pack up for the night, maybe?
If that's alright with everyone.
Can I?
I'll nod.
Actually, no, we are resting here, right? Before we go on to wherever your village is.
Oh, that was my plan. Yeah, definitely. It's still a few hours travel, and that's not counting any potential breaks to give the horse a rest to get Yon Yon back.
Oh, perfect.
Then yeah, I will find a spot. Do we need to be worried about any bumps in the night?
She thinks about it for a moment, and she says, I didn't inspect the fence line, so to speak, but the Silent, even though they don't say much, how do I put this? They are considered, I would say, the mortal tools of the goddess of death, the Fate Blade. As such, they are given wide berth and deference all across the land. That being said, just as much of her teachings, from what I understand, is keeping creatures alive so they can one day pass through the sort of natural order of death. Not saying that they would protect us per se. However, in a sticky situation, I wouldn't be surprised to see what they can do. And in fact, you guys, because none of you guys had been to that side of the camp, but while they do not speak, you see one of them is holding a scythe, not much unlike their what's it called? Their like holy symbol, effectively, and seems to be sharpening it. It's as much a tool as like scythe for like grass chopping and whatnot, as it is for potential protection.
Wonderful.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to, I think, hit the hay.
God, I don't think anything else has sounded better.
Alrighty. Yon Yon seems to be not too tired from a long day of kind of sitting in a cart and eating onions. So you see the half-elf, elderly half-elf one will go over to Yon Yon, and you overhear some of the conversation, one-sided, admittedly. But she will say, "We're putting the horse by you for the night. If you hear anything, wake us up." So at least one or two watches are going to be covered. And the two gentlemen of the group will sort of sit outside the firelight, and they seem to be staying up for a little bit, and one of them lights like a pipe and starts to imbibe. Actually, it would be Tyler, the older one. He offers it to the kid, who shakes his head and just sort of eats out of some of the sack of fruits and nuts and whatnot.
Mithro, was it?
Yeah, that's me. Hey.
I heard you tell your giant friend that he's had first watch. If you want, you can tell him to flick something at me, wake me up when it's my turn.
Oh, I don't know. He looks over and he says, the size of the rocks that's around him, I don't think you'd want him to flick those. He's not really smart with, like, velocity and such.
Alright, well, I'll just do my best to wake up then.
Yeah, no, good luck. No, I'm a light sleeper, though, too. It'll be fine. So, are there going to be any watches taken by you guys, or are you just kind of chilling?
Yeah, I'll take second or third or whatever Yon Yon after he's done.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can fill whatever empty slot might need.
Okay. Yep, Yon Yon does actually, I'd say, Zarn, you probably stay up for a little bit, kind of seeing what Yon Yon's doing, maybe if he's going to go to sleep. But he seems kind of up and at him, and he's still munching on this huge freaking sack of onions. I mean, it's probably like 20 to 30 pounds worth. I mean, it's not like a plastic bag full. It's like a burlap sack that might be longer than your torso, right? Like, it's a big freaking sack of onions. And it was like nearly full when you guys met him, and right now it's like 3/4. So he seems to be fine. He's getting himself energized, and seems like his sleep schedule's going to be ruined for a bit. So you fall asleep shortly into what would be the first watch. You do sort of wake up, I'd say, maybe halfway through the night. In fact, let's call it 2 in the morning. And you wake up, and you notice that the fire is getting a little bit sort of dim, but there is campfire there if you would like to restock it.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple of logs on it.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, I'll keep looking over and see what the silent are doing.
Okay. Yeah, it seems that maybe one of them is taking a watch. You see two of them in your eye light or your eye line that are seemingly knotted out against like a corner of like an intersection of stone wall or something. And one of them seems to be stretching their legs, sort of walking around sort of the edge of sort of marsh.
Wonder what one thinks about all day when they can't say anything.
All right, so as you sort of kindle the fire, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That don't impress me.
Yeah, don't
Thank you,
worry.
Shania.
Yeah. You're sort of looking in this fire. Maybe it's the wood that's burning or whatnot. It's giving you like this odd color. It's actually, I could reflect it on screen, but I'll just leave it be. It's seemingly giving more like red tint than usual. Like maybe there's some weird chemical in some of the local wood here, or maybe the soil is kind of, infected it or something. But it's sort of burning with more of a reddish tint than an orangey yellow. But I mean, it's burning. It's not, you look at, there's no like ants on it or weird like lichen or something. Just something to note. And seems that the night is going sort of by without any affliction. And you're starting to nod out towards the end of your shift. So are you going to wake anybody up, or are you good for the evening?
Yeah, I'll wake Alkin.
Okay. So, Alkin, you are awoken by Zarn, who is informing you that it's your watch. Looks like the fire just got rekindled, and you're pretty much taking up the tail end of the night here.
Perfect.
Okay. Because you're going to have about 2 hours or so to kill as you start to see it get a little bit lighter outside. What are you doing in those 2 hours?
In those 2 hours, I think that... Good question. Honestly, I think that I am going to just be taking this weapon that I acquired earlier the day prior and just trying to give it a few swings. Just, try some practice, stretch out these muscles that seem so locked up.
Okay.
After so much time.
Understood. Alrighty. Go ahead and give me a perception check yourself.
Sure. Oof.
Okay. Yep, love that one, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. You don't see really much around you, but one thing you just sort of note is that the light just dimmed pretty heavily.
Oh, all right. Well, if the light would have gone out, or not completely out, but dimmed a lot, I guess I would try to go up and try to stoke the flames a bit, see if I can get it brighter again, since that's really all I notice.
Okay. So as you round the corner, and I'll just go ahead and show me what path you're taking to get there. All right. So as you sort of look into the light, and you see a lot of the logs are still, I mean, yeah, some of them have burnt through this, maybe halfway through your shift. But a lot of them seem to be pretty much still whole and still burning well. It's just for some reason the light is not giving off as much of sort of emanation, like a glow. And in a split second, you hear this sort of like bubbling maybe, or hissing. And for a moment, this sort of light bursts in this brilliant radiance. And without a noise, you just hear, or you just see this sort of radiant explosion. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Scheisse. Okay.
And it is not time for calm music. time for this good shit.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm looking for can't save.
And the rest of you
There
are
we
going
are.
to be woken up by this as well. 13. Okay, that is the DC you needed. So, you're going to take half this much damage. And as this happens, the light source extinguishes. So you're pretty much in the dark right now. Let's see. Occupied. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 points of damage because I did roll something privately.
Okay.
The rest of you, go ahead and navigate to the combat encounters and roll initiative as you are all woken up by this. And I'm going to keep the...
That's rough.
Yeah. We'll go Felix here.
Be right back in just a moment.
Alright.
Gotcha.
Zarn, Soja, and I are not quite ready.
Yeah, we'll put Yon
I
Yon
just
in
went
that.
to sleep.
Alrighty. Loving me some Yon Yon. Alright, and then...
Jesse, roll your initiative.
yeah, I think I still need yours.
Nope. Hit the second tab and hit the dice.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sir. Alright, I'm going to begin
Oof.
lay encounter. Yeah, buddy. That's the way we like it.
God, we need to get this long rest done.
So
Yeah, we do.
Felix sees that there is no light sort of around him, and in fact, I'll go ahead and make that sort of invisible now. And immediately what he does is he'll just take his action and light the torch that he has.
I'm
and
back.
Sure, welcome back. And seeing as now Felix has now lit this torch, he's this sort of mobile source of light. And one thing you guys all see is this creature right here, who is now sort of on a wall next to the light, or the previously extinguished light. And Felix will just sort of make his way a little bit over here, centering the light source on pretty much the rest of the group. Now, keep in mind, I'll rule this way for now, but if you're wearing something heavier than light armor, I doubt you're sleeping in your armor. So unfortunately, Zach, I think that affects you. So if you wanna unequip your chain shirt for right now,
Will do.
and then I think everybody else might have leather, studded leather, or nothing. Yeah, and Graham, I think you're better without armor. Soja,
that's true.
I think you just, Soja, unfortunately, I don't think has any proficiencies, maybe. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so that will be Felix's turn. So Valus, before I start your turn, Felix was the only one unaffected by this. So everyone within 15 feet of the fire will also have to make that same Constitution saving throw. So that
Alright.
should be everybody. So Zarn, Alkin, you already did it. Graham, Valus, go ahead and make me a con save, and then Soja as well.
Ooh, that's rough. Alright.
Okay.
Like that.
There you go. All right, so Valus and Zarn, I'm going to apply 3 points of damage to you.
Ouch.
And unfortunately, Graham,
Yeah,
you
that's-
take the full 6, as well as Soja, who is, both of you are pretty damn hurt by this. But that being said, Valus, this is your turn. So you're all woken
Can I
up by
make my
this.
martial check?
Yes, you may.
This man is so on top of this.
Makes me
Like-
so upset.
Yeah,
I'll take the
I'm-
better of these two. Yeah, 11's fine.
So
Okay, I guess it wouldn't matter, but well, here, just because it's a homebrew, I'm ruling this way. It's not going to affect the result because martial is technically a skill check. It would be subject to the disadvantage from exhaustion. Okay, so would you like to know Uh,
I want to know what kind of traits the thing has.
traits, perfect.
I have the other sheet up, so I could remember what I could ask you.
That is lovely.
What
I
a
love
god.
that. So, let's see. I'm gonna call this like an ambush trait. It sort of starts off with a big boom, right? Big like DPR type thing, and now it's getting into sort of fight or flight territory.
Oh,
So it's not
so I might just leave.
perchance. Yeah.
Well,
Chance.
how do I do the move thing where you just drag a line and then it's like, oh, I moved?
Yep. So it's going to
Control.
be if you have your token selected, control and then left click drag, and then when you get to the space you want to be at, hit spacebar,
Ha, sick.
and then T
Cool.
for target when you hover over.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my attacks because I have 2 weapons.
Yes, sir. Oh,
That
Oh.
impresses me great.
Okay.
love that.
Excellent.
And
Oh my
What
god!
the fuck?
That's that type of good shit that I prefer.
God
You,
damn.
I
Do
get
you-
a -3 from that. I don't have.
Would you apply sneak attack to that first hit?
Do I
I
get
would,
to apply sneak
I would
attack?
assume so.
Because Alkin's
Yeah, because
also
this
kind
is
of
technically 5
I guess
feet.
Alkin was awakened. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know if I got sneak attack.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That's an extra 2d6 because you
No,
crit.
1d6 at first level. Oh yeah,
No,
yes.
he
All
crit.
dice, right? That works.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Together.
So that's gonna
sorry,
be
so 5 and 6.
Oh
so
my
11.
god.
Jesus fucking.
love it.
This man did 27 points of damage in a turn.
It's that shit I prefer. All right, so the
level
sneak
one.
attack total will be 11. The first attack you said does full damage, and then the second attack will
The second will be
do
minus
just the 4.
2. Or
not-
minus
not heal.
3 or whatever. 3.
Gotcha.
Because I don't get my dex on the second attack, because 2-weapon fighting is different in 5e
Right.
than it is in other games. So,
Mm.
but I don't know how to. There's no way for me to tell it that.
No, I got
So
Yeah.
I would just have to manually do that math. Unfortunately,
There's a macro you can set up.
Is it?
To,
Okay.
like,
well, we'll fuck it up later. So
I mean, I'm gonna try to get the 2-weapon stuff later. That way we don't have to deal with this. But yeah, so there you go.
either
Alright.
way, 24 points of damage, you giga Chad.
Fucking based.
Beautiful. Alrighty. I love that. Love that. Okay, it's gonna retaliate. It is not happy
Yeah.
with you, and it's gonna fucking target you, and we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, this thing is nasty for its size. Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah, that'll be a 21. So, this is how this is gonna work.
Cool.
Yep. So when you are out of the light, it does an additional source of damage. However, as Felix is getting his sort of torch out and lighting this, you see some of the sting come off of this attack. Unfortunately, from the initial blow, it does not help. So as your big hit goes through, this small fiendish creature retaliates and takes you down to 0 as you're unconscious and prone.
Oh, that's nice.
One sec.
Yep.
So
Tell me.
could I make a sentinel attack since the creature's within 5 feet of me?
Absolutely.
Lit.
Oh,
This is why we give feats at first level, ladies and gentlemen. I want
Yes,
my
sir.
players to feel somewhat heroic.
I probably wasn't.
Yeah, just go ahead and target and then just make your melee attack. Ooh, that will definitely hit. Okay. Better than nothing.
Boo.
Damage is damage. It's okay. You hit.
Yeah.
True.
Hey, and all it cost was a reaction. Okay, cool. All right, Graham, you are up.
already. Just with our experiences with the other red flying things, I'm gonna kind of assume that there's more than one. I will kind of stagger to my feet, take a quick look around, see that the 3 gentlemen all near me usually are wearing armor.
Mhm.
I will then take a couple of staggering steps, Zarn, I'm gonna lay my hands on you. It's gonna be awkward for 2 seconds, but you'll be fine. I'm going to cast Mage Armor on Zarn.
Nice. All right, so Zarn, I'm gonna add this to you, bud. That's that, and your AC is now 15.
Well, thank you.
And then I will take a step back to be away from this thing that almost murdered me. And that's it for me.
Okay.
You just kind of feel like your clothes like stiffen for a second and then just relax. They seem more durable.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Alkin, you are up.
Swinging again. Let's go.
Yeah, that'll do, pig. Ooh, that will
Yeah,
definitely do.
better roll.
Nice.
Okay,
Much
so with your rapid strike followed by this sort of measured strike as you sort of swat it out of the air, you're actually able to take this thing down
Fuck yes.
and sort of slice it in two, and you now see this sort of wings separated from a hand with this little fiendish eyeball in the middle of it, as you realize this is what you saw sort of earlier hiding in the flames, but with the sort of hand closed around the eye as to sort of camouflage it, right? That sort of like hide in plain sight type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zarn, you are up as you hear, or rather as you see this radiant blast coming from the other side of the camp, as another one of these creatures is attacking the group over there.
Shit. Someone get Valus up.
Yeah. So I'm going to add these guys.
I'm on it next turn.
I was about to say I don't quite remember, but I don't think I'm a doctor.
Yeah. And then let me just get back.
Literally, I would have gotten him up this turn, but I just had to take that thing out first. It was in my way.
Yep.
Understandable.
Gotta love D&D. Double crit and immediately getting taken down.
I mean, like, it didn't want you to do that again. So,
I
like,
know.
would you?
Also, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't matter for my attacks, obviously, but for your homebrew rules, you talked about flanking.
Mhm.
Would I have had advantage on those attacks?
Yeah, just keep that in mind and make sure you're calling
Yeah,
it
that's
out.
why I was just, like I said, I happened to look over. I'm like, oh wait, it's a rule he
I got
has.
you.
Let me make sure.
So Zarn, you made your way over there. That's what?
yeah,
That's 20
is this
feet?
passable terrain?
Yeah, it's nothing. None of this is really difficult. A lot of it is for fluff, for show.
Yo.
I'm afraid to go in the dark though.
Remember, we only have
Yeah.
half movement right now.
Oh shit, you right.
Oh god, he
Yeah.
right.
Oh, then shit. Because it took half my movement to get up, I actually wouldn't have been able to get to Zarn.
In that instance, I'm going to call bullshit because you were a person who didn't take a watch. I mean, I'm not going to say you're fully rested and you got all your spells back, but you weren't afflicted as hard as Zarn
If it makes it more lore friendly, I could have just rolled over and just kind of grabbed his ankle.
I'm more than fine with it. Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll still be on the ground, actually. That's kind
All
of
right,
funny.
so Zarn, with your 15 feet of movement, you can get there if you'd like one more step
Yeah.
further. And then what are you going to be
Fine.
doing?
I guess I'll be holding my action to attack the first thing that comes within this little spot right here.
Okay. And I'm gonna
Because I
make
have
some-
10 feet of reach, so
Right, with your
pike.
All right, well, I'm going to roll some saves for these guys. Unfortunately, only one of them made it. And should be this. This one is a bit more of a chunker, I believe. Yes, it is. Alrighty. Yon Yon's turn. It's going to be incredible. Go ahead and roll damage for this. Because this one had a bit more time to get its light attack off. We took 9. So 4. Yon Yon is looking around trying to find a target. Unfortunately, with him sitting down, there's a bit of a downslope here. He doesn't really see what's going on. But you see he's got a large sort of rock or boulder ready to toss at a minute's notice after seeing all this go down. And obviously, someone's getting spooked. Soja, you're up.
Well, can't see over there.
Hmm.
So, just gonna hang out here. I'm gonna prepare a firebolt if I see one of those little buggers again.
Okay. That is more than fair. All right, top of the round, we'll get to Felix. He will sidestep the fire, target Valus, obviously finish him off.
Yeah,
no.
that makes sense.
We'll do a cure wounds.
Sleeper cell.
So you'll get 6 back, which makes you up and at 'em and no longer prone. Well, you'll still be prone. Just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
Get that effect off you. And with his last foot of movement, he'll just kind of go back towards where he started his turn at and interpose. Okay, the Silent who was on a walkabout will make his way back. Make a claw/scythe attack against the boy.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, a what/what?
I think I parsed the data as claw, but I wanted to give them scythes. 'Cause
I see.
my original idea was that they had like scraping gauntlets or something to help them, but I'm just like, I can just give them tools and have them have scythes.
Yeah.
As part of their like religion stuff.
Wait,
And then as on top of that, we'll do a cantrip. So we got a little bit of chill touch, which unfortunately misses. Okay. Second silence. We'll do it in a reverse order. He's going to try and use lightning lure to pull this fucker back to him. So yeah,
Nice.
this guy goes with a strength save. Yep, no. That'll definitely move him right there, and full 8 damage from that, and then on top of the scythe attack.
hey, Drew.
Yes.
What the hell is that description for this attack?
I know.
Oh, it's pretty fucked, isn't it?
Is that a... Is that a Doctor Who reference?
Not really.
Okay. I mean, I didn't watch that part, but I just kind of vaguely remember that creature.
Yeah. Okay, Valus, you are prone, but you are among the living.
Oh. Twice in 2 days. So if I stand up, how much can I move anyway?
I'll give you like a 5-foot step.
Well, then I'm just gonna hang out. I'm just gonna stand up and be ready to defend myself.
Well,
but-
I'll give you a 5-foot step for your actual movement, but if you want to like dash maybe or something, I don't know. Action
I mean,
dash.
So I would effectively have 20 feet.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay.
And I will just be ready. I can't actually take that action, but you know, just ready. All right. That's it.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
Oh, I take the enter button, don't I?
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I will switch turns.
My bad.
Okay. The Lightthief will attack the Silence. I'll hit him. Oh, not bad. Please. And you know what? He's not in the light, so this does another D6 on top of that. 5. On top of the 11. Okay. This Silent will be flanking with his buddy. Yeah. Should finish it off. Yeah. Okay. And just like that, the tiny flying beasts are dispatched. And just as quickly as it started, it is over.
I'll just kind of groan from the ground. You give me a hand, Alkin.
Absolutely. Here. And I just kind of help him up to his feet.
Thank you.
It's starting to get a little bit brighter out. And I'll say at least the sort of thunder has passed here. Or rather, the lightning has passed. It's still sort of drizzling and whatnot. But there are no more sort of lightning strikes. To expedite some stuff, there is going to be... You guys are all going to be getting a long rest, so if you would like to take that now, feel free, as the rest of the night will come without harm. I'll advance another hour and 20 here. Get Felix. Some long rest, new day, yup.
I see that fact that Alkin doesn't recover any hit points.
And I'll eliminate your guys' exhaustion here.
Do we get rid of all of it or just a stack of it?
You actually get rid of all of it.
Oh, sweet.
Finally.
Oh, I feel like a new man. Well, again.
Yeah.
I'm going to don my armor.
Fair enough. Then I'll remove mage armor from you.
Oh, if it was halfway through the watch, it might still be on.
That's true.
When he goes to put on the armor, at least. I just think that's funny.
Turn it off. No.
Sorry. Sorry.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
After spending some time with his wand, is it magical at all? I mean, besides it being able to cast a spell, like, do I know what it does?
I mean, it's magical in the sense that it's like the tool for you to use it for your spell casting. Even then, it might not be like a magical item. It's more like a focus, like an arcane focus.
Okay, so it's not like an imbued wand. It's
No,
just
it's not like a wand of fireballs, yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
That'd be
Understood.
nice.
That's how I was casting Fireball earlier.
Mm.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know about you chaps, but I feel right as rain.
Hey, Mithro, do you have any extra of that food?
Yeah, I could spare some. And he'll see what he's got, and we'll do D6 plus 1 on this. It's like, yeah, I got like 4 servings I can have before I need to really start keeping it for the friends back at home. Yeah, and he'll hold out a portion or two if you want.
Yeah, I just, they just went through, we went through, so they deserve something to eat too.
Oh, sure.
Point
Yeah,
over towards the silent.
he'll hand you 3. And he'll
Cool.
actually go over and pick up the sort of sack he left next to one of their tools, and he says, here, you can add it to this. I gifted a little bit to them already, but I'm sure they'll appreciate more.
Yeah, thanks. I'll just kind of set it like here,
Sure.
like in between them. Like I'll just line them up, just kind of nod my head at him and leave him be.
Yeah, no, they all nod back appreciatively. One thing to note when you go over there, it looks like the one who got hurt the most, this one to the north, was holding his scythe in the flames for a bit. And he has sort of a claw wound from the Lightthief, and he was sort of using his scythe to use as an instrument to cauterize the wound.
Oh.
So he'll nod at you as you as you walk away. You start to hear the burning of flesh.
Brutal.
Hardcore.
Ashlea spends the better part of an hour and a half, 2 hours. She seems to be an early riser, so I think when maybe the first of you woke up, she was already kind of up and at him a little bit. And she was getting sort of the horse ready and whatnot, and walking back sort of off screen to the cart and making sure that was all ready to go, and performing what like small repairs she could, maybe reinforcing a wheel here and there, and getting that ready for travel. Nonetheless, if you guys are ready for travel, we are good to go. Is there anything you want to do around the sort of ruined keep area for now, or while you're here, rather?
Can I check out this well myself?
Sure.
Just wondering if I could take a moment to study it or something.
Yeah. Go ahead and make me your choice of investigation, arcana, religion, maybe.
I'll do arcana.
Okay.
See if I can't discern anything about it.
For what was once a well, it is clearly not full of water anymore. It's acting like a cistern maybe for some rainwater that it seems to have gathered, but the closer you look, as it is still drizzling, you don't really see anything like hitting the surface in there. So you're not sure what liquid it might be. It just seems sort of ethereal and weird. In like Valus the night before, you sort of look in and you see these like weird strings of motion in there, almost like if you ever seen like a bowl of like egg drop soup and you see like the little strands of egg, like that sort of strand, like yeah,
Okay.
strand like motions.
Could I prestidigitate to summon a rock, and then can I sort of toss it in there, see what happens?
Sure. Yeah. The moment you toss a rock in, you hear this like bubbling hiss, and the rock disappears like it just melted, like it was, like it was something dissolving, like snow dissolving.
Ah. Well, that's creepy. Remind myself not to take a bath anywhere near here.
Yon Yon.
Thank you, Yon Yon. And I will head on back. My curiosity is sated, and frankly, the quicker we get away from the silent, the more comfortable I'll be.
Yeah, no, I think I'm about ready to head out.
I'll look at Soja. You sure you don't want to stay with these folks? Seem like you have more in common.
I'll give him a smile.
Oh, there we go.
That's improvement. We call that we call that improvement. I love it. I'm proud of Soja. Okay. Any last call for, I don't know, any encounters with the silent or whatnot? They seem to be still doing some tidying up, and will probably be on their way soon as well. Yeah. Anything else from you guys? Okay. One
No.
note. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
no. I was gonna say I want to show them the note again.
Oh,
Show them, but there's no reason to.
Understood. All right. So one notable thing, the older gentleman, Tylus, or older of the two, he's probably only mid-20s, maybe. Let's see.
Markiplier.
21. Yeah, Markiplier like a motherfucker. He will take the sort of corpses of those like weird bat fiend things and throw them in the fire about 10 minutes before leaving, as to sort of burn them, dissolve them before he'll snuff out the fires. Okay, time to reveal this. All right, so this is what was in progress. Blah, blah, blah. You guys survive the encounter. Love that for you. You did not gather materials from the slain creatures, so you missed out on some crafting stuff. But aside from that, as you guys were sort of trolling around the keep, because you did have some time that was not played through, just sort of idle time, you did find some walnuts, found some wild herbs, some red amanita mushrooms, one little string of ectoplasm that is good for like a dose of something. And then, let's see, who's feeling lucky?
Me. I got
Okay.
2 crits.
Yeah.
true.
Go ahead and roll me percentile dice, please.
That's a
The very last die on
Yeah,
there.
Should be the bottom right one. And then, perfect, awesome. So yeah, above 50, you'll get both of this. So, as you were sort of trolling around and looking, it doesn't seem like these ruins get a lot of visitation, so to speak. Perhaps just the silent is the most often. Ashlina said she had been here before, but it's been quite a while. And what you find sort of caked in mud, you or others in the group, are 2 things throughout your 8 or so hours here. You find what seems to be a wand, not unlike the ones that Soja and I believe you also have one, Graham. I think you both had wands. I could be mistaken.
I grabbed a staff.
Oh, you did grab a staff. That's right. Much like the one Soja has, although it's kind of caked with mud at the moment. And then this sort of ratty-looking scroll case with a scroll inside. And I will keep that in here until they are sort of identified, but it is no big deal. So I'm gonna set this quest as completed, but there are 2 sort of smaller magic items that are associated with this.
Oh, I'm gonna need a mushroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love that.
I'm gonna need that.
All right.
I can spend time identifying them if somebody wants me to.
That is true.
I mean, hey, good
Go,
on ya.
go nuts.
All right.
Alright.
I'll hold on to them until we have a free moment for me to.
Yeah, I mean, there still is going to be some downtime here. It's going to take you, what, 20,
okay.
21 minutes, I want to say, for the 2 items? 22 minutes?
Let me see for the
Should be
ritual.
1 minute for identify, and then just adding 10
And then
minutes on.
10 minutes, yeah. So
Okay.
22 minutes technically.
Yep, call it 23 and a half. So which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the scroll.
Scroll first? Awesome. I'm going to need to know who wants to hold on to this, and I might actually have to look up rules about scrolls. But it is actually a scroll of bless.
I'm assuming Felix wants to hold that.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah,
here, but I assume that's what he wants.
Yeah, he would say that he sort of knows the, I guess, roots of that spell, and actually just knows the spell itself. But Drew actually isn't certain if you actually have to know the spell or be a spellcaster to use it.
But I
rules
remember
on
it has to be within your spell list, I think.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha.
That's
Okay, so
correct.
that
But I
makes
didn't want
sense.
to. I didn't want to rules lawyer that.
Yeah, if
I
it's
needed
on
that.
if it's on your class's spell list, you can use the spell. If not, you can't read it.
Gotcha. All right, so Felix will take the spell scroll of bless, and then the other item is just a wand of magic missiles.
Hey, that's cool.
So I
Can
will.
anybody use wands?
I think anybody can use wands. Let me. I don't know. I just
I don't
I
know the
believe
rules for
anybody
that.
can use wands.
I believe so. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like you two can naturally but like if me and Zarn wanted to use wands, could we?
That's what I'm saying. I believe anybody can use it.
Oh, I thought you said you
and
and.
And I'm
I-
saying
No.
I'm saying I agree.
Oh, hi. That's cool.
Do you concur, Doctor? All right, that's cool.
I'm not a doctor. I already said that.
Shit. So yeah, wand of magic missiles, and also obviously, if you are a spellcaster, it can also manifest as an arcane folk. arcane focus. So whoever wants this wand, fair game. And yeah, it's that good shit. Oh, that's right. There's also.
I'm
Sorry,
willing
you
to
can
hear.
cover
I'm
I
willing to
don't
hear,
care.
please.
Oh, I mean, I'll take it if no one wants it, but I don't really need it.
Well, I'm
There's
holding
some
on to it until I hear a good reason to give it to somebody else.
Listen, I got 2 arrows and no bow. I don't know what to tell you.
Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. I mean, I imagine that just spitballing here, someone who probably is far away whenever we're in combat probably would get more use out of it. I look at Felix, Alkin, and Zarn. They're probably going to be two in the thick of it, you know.
Yeah, no. I'm absolutely just gonna be swinging.
Here,
It's what I do.
Ignore
I've seen
this. Ignore this for now, but I just want to see how this works if I drop a single item. It just says loot.
Oh yeah.
Whoever wants it, try and take it. And if it doesn't work, I'll just put it in there manually. Oh, cool.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
All right. So I can do that. Awesome. But there is something for all of you. Around here, you see non-rusted coins. I mean, some of them are kind of muddy and whatnot and under the surface. But non-rusted coins to the total of 56 silver pieces. So, let's see. Never mind. I lied. Call it 60 so you can all just each add 10 to your sheet. And I'll give 10 to Felix.
And silver. All right.
And I've never done this mid-session before, but you guys will all level up to 2. So we'll do that after the session, but just keep that in mind. So we're going to stick around for a little bit and do that so I can re-import your characters and all that.
Cool.
And you guys, I'm assuming, are going to continue your travel on the road to Avon Head with the rest of the folks.
Indeed.
Cool.
Light bugger.
Alrighty. If we want to sort of expedite some of the process and get there maybe a bit quicker while you still have a good chunk of daylight left to sort of go around the village and whatnot, we can do that. But however, it will be subject to a survival roll if you are proficient with said skill at a certain DC. I don't think Felix is. No, Felix is not.
I am not.
I'm also not.
This is
None
this
of
is
us take any
unfortunate.
survival.
Well, that is fine because the alternative is if you can't sort of help out in that sense, those of you with land vehicle proficiency, because there is a cart off screen, you can just make an intelligence check plus proficiency to sort of come up with sort of, I guess, jerry-rigged fixes to make travel a little better.
Also,
Don't
no.
point at him.
I do have
Yeah.
a land vehicle proficiency.
Oh, let's go.
You said I need
let's
to
go!
you said I need to do what now, dude?
So you're just gonna roll your intelligence, ability score, and then we're gonna add +2 to that for your proficiency.
Sick.
Oh well, 8. It's better than 1 or 2 or
Let's go.
anything below 8. Who else? I know somebody else has land vehicle.
I do.
Oh, you do. That's right.
I have a vehicle, but not land.
I am proficient in landing vehicles.
That's cool. Oh, Felix does too. Nice.
People
All
call
right,
it
well,
crashing.
Zarn, if you want to just roll intelligence check, and then add 2 to that, Felix will do so. Oh well. Oh, twins.
Ow!
Twinsies.
Based.
He's better.
All right. So yeah, both Zar and Felix comes up to you and says, "You thinking what I'm thinking?"
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and he points out one of the parts and that one right there.
Let's do it.
And you guys just go for it, and you just have that sort of Ocean's 11 conversation between George Clooney's character and Brad Pitt's character, and you're just saying paragraphs worth of stuff by saying 2 words to each other. And you're understanding all the subtext, and you guys are able to
It's kind of
actually,
hot.
yeah, incredible sex appeal between the two of them. Not
Attention is
Zarn
palpable.
and Felix. But, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Ocean's 11. But yeah, you guys get a
Oh.
fix ready within maybe half an hour while they're sort of tending to the horse. So you guys like head off screen towards the gate where they park the cart. And yeah, you guys get a fix ready to go, and it seems to be sort of counteracting. It'll counteract Yon Yon's weight while also taking some of the angle of the weight off of the singular horse that they're using. So you guys definitely save a good chunk of time on the travel.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
I wonder if there's any space on the car to lay down in.
Man, with Yon Yon there, not so much. Just so you don't, what's the word?
Accidentally cuddle.
Well, that, but I don't think anyone minds that. It's more like to undo the fix that they just did by putting extraneous weights on a different part of the vehicle.
I guess.
That's
All
all.
right.
All right, so you guys do eventually end up in Avon Head with the NPCs that you were able to save, which we love to see. We got the horse, we got Yon Yon. I'm loving this.
I think we were able to save the NPCs because one of our companions went hard and then almost murdered something instantly.
NPCsthatgohard.com. All right. So it's about it turns out to be like a 3-hour travel, which is freaking awesome. And I'm gonna go ahead and preload this for you guys, and I'm gonna drag y'all over.
When we get to civilization, what's the first thing y'all are gonna do? Oh, we're here already. Fortuitous.
He says as you guys round the there we go, there's Yon Yon. All right, so hey, pop quiz hot shots. From what you can see, what's the layout of this village?
That's a loaded question.
I see a lot of beams of black.
Yeah.
It's a hamlet.
From what piece of media is this village layout from?
Oh, God, I don't.
What? From
RuneScape?
something?
No, not RuneScape. Good call though.
I know this. I've used this character art.
Oh, cool. So have I.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can I have what form of media it is?
Nope, because that would make it pretty easy.
Video game.
is this the village that the hobbits show up in where they meet Strider?
Ooh, close. It's not Bree.
It's a Game of Thrones.
Nope. Final answers. Got 5 seconds.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
2,
Skyrim, Riverwood. I don't
1.
know.
0. This is the village from
Archie.
Diablo 1. It's Tristram.
Oh.
I never played fucking Diablo.
It's
you know
all
who
good.
would have known that?
Well,
The guy
well,
who isn't here.
yeah, Brian. Brian actually,
Yep.
I was doing some testing with him, and it's actually good that he wasn't here because he would have called it immediately. He's like, "Oh, it's that Diablo thing you showed." Okay, so
What a guy.
while we're still here, we're gonna have you all level up to 2. And you will have to do that through D&D Beyond, so
Yeah.
easy enough. Which one of your classes gets like a choice at level 2? I think wizards, I want to say, get their school, right?
Wizards, yep.
Okay. Rogue gets like his cunning action, right? So Valus gets cunning action and all that. Felix already has his stuff. He actually gets at level 1. At level 2 fighter, do you get is it a fighting
Action
style?
I
surge?
get an action surge,
Oh, action
baby.
surge, that's
Action surge, baby.
That's right, because level 1 fighter is the fighting style.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be so actiony.
I'm gonna surge.
I'm surging.
Surge incoming.
Oh, stop.
Sorry.
Hate that.
Right.
Whee!
Okay, so
Okay, manage character and levels. There it is.
so once you guys navigate to your character, I see it looks like Jesse, you already upgraded, right? Updated.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to update any of your, let's see, I don't want to update your currency. I don't want to update your equipment, weapons. Your name's fine. The image is fine. Hit
How do
points
I
and hit
get-
dice.
Did it automatically roll my hit points?
If you just up your level, I think it does it by default, yeah. Which,
Oh,
if you guys want to take the default average, I'm fine with. If you want to roll it manually, just let me know. And we'll do those rolls in Foundry. Just so we have it, like, on record and whatnot.
Seems fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Did I never choose these things? No, I did. I did.
So for the sake of wizardry, what schools are available to us?
He's asking about chronergy, isn't he?
No,
Well,
no.
No. He's talking about because we're working with like unlockables.
I
So
know.
all subclasses are fine. It's just the
I-
classes right now that are locked.
Oh,
I
sweet.
updated mine in my real good.
Okay,
I did
so
mine D&D Beyond what I need to do.
you are good with that because I already have the actual like link tied to your character.
Oh
in
yeah, I see.
Foundry.
I have more HP
Right.
now.
And the link never changes. So let's see. Do this. I only want hit points, hit die, classes, and
Didn't say anything about
features.
cunning action. Boo. Oh wait.
Don't worry, I got you, baby.
And then you said you want us to roll health in Foundry?
If you're not taking the average from D&D Beyond and you
Okay.
want to actually roll for your health,
okay
the only
with it.
rule is I re-roll ones, but unfortunately 2 through whatever, you're sticking with it.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah. So
Ah,
Alkin
we ball.
with the double digits on hit
What?
points. He's got 20. He's doubling his double digits.
Look at him.
That guy.
All right,
He is him.
audience, do we ball?
Oh, we ball.
We ball. Average. All right, cool.
Okay. So that makes it easy on me because once you're done in D&D Beyond, I can just get you over here. So Soja, are you done in D&D
No.
Beyond? Okay. Don't
Picking
worry.
a school.
Graham,
And I
I'm
gotta,
assuming
like,
same thing.
spells.
Gotcha. So Zarn, how are you doing regarding your D&D Beyond shenanigans?
I let it just take the average or whatever because it was another 8, so
Okay.
20 total, and then the accent surge.
And you're leveled up to 2. Awesome. Okay. So I'll go ahead and adjust you here. Zarn, and I want new hit points, hit die, classes, and features. Perfect. Okay, so Zarn, you should be good in Foundry now. And I think it's just showing you're missing hit points because you just got new ones, maybe. I don't know. I'll just work here. Awesome. Okay, Valus, how are you looking?
I think I'm good. I got my hit
Pretty
points. Got the
Yep.
cunning action in there.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. And you still
And I don't
got
really get
all
anything
your
else because rogue.
hey, early levels.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't get to control time like a wizard I know.
Why are you guys assuming I'm picking Chronergy?
Cringer G.
Are you picking chronergy?
I mean, you guys will find out.
Mm.
Yeah, when he does time stuff.
Ooh, kill him.
Yeah, when suddenly an attack that's gonna cut your head off just suddenly doesn't. I mean, then yeah, you can call me a time wizard.
Are you being the best type of wizard?
Well, the best type of wizard is the time wizards.
Oh,
so
It's
no.
true. It's very true.
Awesome.
I just need a quick refresh. How do we import from D&D
You
Beyond
don't
again?
even have to worry about that. So
Okay, cool.
you're all set. Because obviously the link to D&D Beyond never changes, so really the link always stays in that one URL field, and I just pull over what I want to. So if for some reason your character art changes, right, I can just pull over your new image and hit import. If for some reason you added a language with a feat or whatever, I can just hit languages and import. So usually for most non-spellcasters, all you're going to be re-importing is hit points, hit dice, classes, and features. Because you don't need to look at new weapons. You get that stuff in Foundry. Any other equipment, you get that in Foundry. Currency, you get in Foundry. Yeah, all that stuff is good. So
I believe. Well, that's weird.
what up, baby?
What is? Oh, it still has my. On D&D Beyond, it still says I'm a Valor born.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's your origin, right?
No.
Oh, that was the original one you had then.
Yeah, that was the original one.
Yeah. I'm assuming that just says that where we made it say that for your, like, homebrew stuff.
For us, it said it showed my AC is 1 higher than it was.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So it should
with
just be 13 base, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will delete that.
I'm all set.
Awesome. Okay, so you're getting hit points, hit dice, classes, features, and you're getting spells and spell slots, because that should be the other thing that changes.
Yep. All of that is correct.
Okay.
Pick my spells, roll the die.
You are
pick
the
my
best
class.
type. You're my favorite.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. Okay, cool. All right, you are good to go there. And Soja, how are you with an ETA? You don't have to make the decision now. I'm just curious.
Good. I already decided. I gotta roll HP. I gotta
Okay.
double check my con here.
You guys were all calling me a time wizard.
So
Darren's
2
like,
through
I'm
6.
a time wizard.
Just remember, 2 through 6, you're sticking with it.
Oh, I know.
Ooh.
Nope, stuck with
there's
it.
a 1. Well, that's a 1, so you can re-roll that.
Okay.
Get a 6. Get a 6.
Oh, re-roll 1s. Let's go.
Buddy, come on.
I don't
He's
that
like,
cigar
if I
flavor.
get enough 1s,
Are
I can
you
just,
kidding?
I can just
We're-
add all the 1s. At this point, it's
One more
like
time.
you're getting the average.
Let's go.
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
average. Let's go.
So 5. All right. Perfect. So it's already done in D&D Beyond. I love that.
All that for a drop of blood.
All that for 3 rerolls and more drops of blood.
All that for 5 hit points.
Do we get our other spell slot as well? Like,
Yes, you should have, 3 total
Usable.
now, I think?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And, okay, with everybody leveled up, we're doing really fucking good here, guys.
Heck yeah.
You you guys saw a humanoid woman from this window sort of looking at the new arrivals, and specifically she looks at you, Graham, and she just sort of, you hear her stumbling from inside this building until she pops out, and she'll say, what, is that Bloodroot? Is that Bloodroot? Is that Bloodroot?
It might be. I kind of hide it behind my back a little bit. I think she might attack me.
Okay, so you see the sort of dancing. Actually, here, she'll pop up some dancing lights outside her place of business here, and she says, "I'll buy your stock. I need it. I need it."
I'm listening.
Okay. I'm open for business, and she'll go back behind the desk.
All right, gents, I'll be right back. If you
know
don't,
how to- wait, do you know how to haggle, or
do I know how to haggle?
yeah?
If
do you know
I'm-
how to haggle?
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, well, don't bother me then. Wink.
Yon Yon.
Is there a blacksmith or something around here?
There is, in fact, as Yon Yon gets carted over to this building here, you'll see one of the blacksmiths come out and say, "Ah, my boy, ha ha! How you doing, kiddo?" And this sort of middle-aged male human, on the shorter side, kind of wiry and muscular, comes out and greets Yon Yon, who is delighted to see his buddy.
Okay.
So this woman here, Nicola, is set up as like a merchant for alchemy supplies and other herbalism supplies. And this woman, Marana here, is set up as a store for weapons and armor.
I am also interested in blacksmith visit.
There you go.
Soja, buddy. Yeah,
Sure, I'll
kind of
wait
cramping
for
my
Alpin.
style here.
So you guys are free to shop, but I'm gonna end the session with this shopping, and we'll reconvene next week for hopefully maybe either a super long one or just a longer one in general.
Yeah.
But this
Sick.
is just a
I don't
natural
mind.
stopping point.